Hello guys, welcome back, and today we are reacting to another creepypasta, because it's Wednesday, of course, but yeah, we're reacting to Dead Bart, which is a famous Simpsons lost episode. But before I actually get into this video, I have an announcement to make. So we have officially surpassed 300 subscribers. As of recording this, I am on 301. So, that means that there is a 300 sub special coming. Now, don't worry, this is not the 300 sub special. It's actually going to be coming on Friday. Now, you don't have to give me any ideas on this video, because I'll be making a post later anyway. But, if you don't have any ideas, like, if you don't know what to tell me, I might give you a few suggestions right now. Like, it could be anything. It could be, like, a YouTuber. Like, a cringy YouTuber who does corny things. It could be another fanfic. It could be Loud House if you wanted. I don't recommend it, but if you wanted to, you could. It could be... I don't know. It could be a genre. I don't know. Like, it could also be about a drama. Whatever. I'm not a drama YouTuber, but like, there's a Roblox drama. I'm just giving you some ideas. Don't comment about it on this video, because I'm making a post later, of course. Anyway, I feel like I'm yapping too much. Just one quick little thing. I actually got like a mini desk, which I'm holding my tablet on right now. So, yeah, maybe the sound quality might be a bit better, I don't know. But anyway, it's already been 2 minutes, so we're going to get straight into this. Sorry for yapping. I might just like set a timer where you can skip to if you don't want to listen to me yap the whole time. Maybe. Anyway, Dead Bart. Wait, hold on. Right, Dead Bart. You know how Fox has a weird way of counting Simpsons episodes? No, not really. They refuse to count a couple of them, making the amount of episodes inconsistent. The reason for this is a lost episode from season 1. I doubt that, but okay. Finding details about this missing episode is difficult. No one who was working on the show at the time likes to talk about it. It could be because it's not real. I don't know. From what has been pieced together, the episode's production number was 7G06, and the title was Dead Bart. Obviously, the episode labelled 7G06 Moaning Lisa was made later and given Dead Bart's production code to hide the latter's existence. It was also written entirely by Matt Groening. During production of the first season, Matt started to act strangely. He was very quiet and seemed nervous and morbid. Mentioning this to anyone who was present around Matt at the time resulted in them getting very angry and forbidding you to ever mention it to Matt himself. I first heard of it at an event where David Silverman was speaking. Someone in the crowd asked about the episode, and Silverman simply left the stage, ending the presentation hour early. Yeah, right. In addition to getting angry, asking anyone who was on the show about Dead Bart would cause them to do everything they could to stop you from directly communicating with Matt. I don't know why I said Mac. Groaning. I've got like a little cough at the back of my throat. You know, like when it feels like you've got a bubble at the back of your throat, but you just can't get it out? That's basically what it's like. At a fan event, I managed to follow him after he spoke to the crowd, and eventually had a chance to talk to him alone. As he was leaving the building, he didn't seem upset that I had followed him. He probably expected a typical encounter with an obsessive fan. When I mentioned the lost episode, though, all colour drained from his face, and he started trembling. When I asked him if he could tell me any details, he sounded like he was on the verge of tears. Yeah, that's just not true. That never happened. Top 10 things that never happened. He grabbed a piece of paper, wrote something on it, and handed it to me. He begged me to never mention this episode again. Why do I always have to have a voice crack? The piece of paper had a website address on it. I'd rather not say what it was for reasons you'll see in a second. I entered the address into my browser and came to a site that was completely black, except for a line of yellow text, a link. I clicked on it, and a file started downloading. Once the download was complete, my computer went crazy. It was the worst virus I had ever seen. System restore didn't work. The entire computer had to be rebooted. I can't get it out. Though, before doing this though, I copied the file onto a CD. I tried to open it on my now empty computer, as I suspected there was an episode of The Simpsons on it. The episode started off like any other, but had very poor quality animation. Yeah, all lost episodes seem to have that. Is it a coincidence? I think not. If you've seen the original animation for Some Enchanted Evening, it was similar but less stable. The first act was fairly normal, but the way the characters acted was a little off. Homer was angrier, Marge seemed depressed. Lisa behaved anxiously, and Bart appeared to have genuine anger and hatred towards his parents. The episode was about the Simpsons going on a plane trip. Near the end of the first act, the plane was taking off. Bart was fooling around, as you'd expect. However, as the plane was about 50 feet off the ground, Bart broke a window and was sucked out. Just like that. Just like that. At the beginning of the series, Maz had an idea that the animated style of Simpsons world represented life, and that death made things more realistic, hence why it used this episode. Hence why it was used in this episode. The picture of Bart's corpse was barely recognisable. They took full advantage of it not having to move, and made an almost photorealistic drawing of his dead body. Now, I have seen this picture before. It's more realistic than the typical Simpsons style. I wouldn't say it's realistic, though. There we go. So, I think I finally got it out. Act 1 ended with the shot of Bart's corpse. When Act 2 started, Homer, Marge and Lisa were sitting at a table, crying. The crying went on, and it became more pained and realistic. Better acting than you would think possible. The animation started to decay even more as they cried, and you could hear murmuring in the background. The characters could barely be made out. They were stretching and blurring, looking like deformed shadows with random bright colours thrown on them. There were faces in the window, flashing in and out so that you were never sure what they looked like. The crying went on for all of Act 2. Act 3 opened with the title card saying, 1 year has passed. Homer, Marge and Lisa were skeletally thin and was sitting at the table. There was no sign of Maggie or the pets. What, so they were there for the whole year? They wouldn't be alive if that was the case, though. They might just eat and drink rarely. I don't know. They decided to visit Bart's grave. Springfield was completely deserted, and as they walked to the cemetery, the houses became more and more decrepit. Decrepit, yeah. They all looked abandoned. When they got to the grave, Bart's body was lying in front of his tombstone, of course, looking just like it did at the end of Act 1. The family started crying again. Eventually they stopped and just stared at Bart's body. The camera zoomed in on Homer's face. According to summaries, Homer tells a joke at this part, but it isn't audible at the version I saw, so you can't tell what he's saying. The view zoomed out as the episode came to a close. The tombstones in the background had the names of every Simpsons guest star on them, some that no one had heard of in 1989, some that haven't been on the show yet. All of them had death dates as well. For guests who died since, like Michael Jackson and George Harrison, the dates were when they would die. The credits were completely silent and seem handwritten. The final image was the Simpson family on their couch, like in the intros, but all drawn in a hyper-realistic, lifeless style of Bart's corpse. Wait, including Bart? Was Bart also on the couch? A thought occurred to me after seeing the episode for the first time. You could try to use the tombstones to predict the death of living Simpsons guest stars, but there was something odd about most of the ones who hadn't died yet. All of their deaths are listed as the same death. What's fake, isn't it? Okay, I like how this person doesn't exaggerate their reaction. It's like, oh, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. To be fair, like, if I saw this episode, like, with no knowledge at all, I would be a little spooked, I will admit. Like, you know, especially if it was, like, late at night, and it was dark, and I just put it on my TV, or just watched YouTube. Like, I would be a little disturbed if I saw the original thing, if it is real. But overall, not that creepy. It's definitely not the creepiest creepypasta. A lot of it doesn't really make too much sense. Like, I know The Simpsons isn't real, so obviously the stuff in it aren't going to make sense. So that's understandable. But yeah, this creepypasta kind of follows most other, like, lost episodes or creepypastas. You know, low quality animation, right? And it starts off as like, oh, it's a bit creepy. Like, it starts off normal, but something's off. But then, like, it drastically gets worse as the episode progresses. Or, like, it has one brutal scene. Like when Bart jumps off the plane. No, when he like makes a hole and just gets sucked off the plane. You know. And there's gore, of course, because why wouldn't there be? It's a lost episode. But yeah, I think it's kind of a typical creepypasta. I think it's a bit short though. Like, it could have been longer. But hey, like it just started off as Homer being angrier than usual. All the characters being out of character, kind. Well, in character, but like too much in character, you could say. Like, Homer's even angrier than usual. Bart has genuine hatred for his parents and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, like, he just jumps out of an airplane, dies. His family grieves him, and then a year later, I don't know if they've done anything since that moment. One question I want to know is, did they go on holiday? Like, did they jump off the plane too and go back home? Well, no, they would have died, but like, did they get a parachute? I don't know. Or did they just go on their holiday, or wherever they were going, being traumatized, but then going back home? Or did they cancel the flight? I don't know. But anyway, I think it was an alright creepypasta. Not the worst I've ever seen. Not the best I've ever seen. But if you enjoyed that video, this video, if you're watching this, you are more than welcome to subscribe. But of course, you don't have to. My name's Churlo, and I hope you have a good day or night whenever you're watching this. Goodbye.